Alright guys, so today is upgrade day on the Losi 5T. So look at these. So yeah, that's gonna look really nice. And then you already seen that we had installed a new dual exhaust pipe. I did buy an entire pack of Losi bearings for the 5T. But the thing is, I was looking at these bearings down here. I've got some 3-in-1 oil. I only had to hit one of them, which I think was that one, with a little bit of 3-in-1. Guys, these bearings are good. I think I'm going to roll with it for a while and just keep the others for when I have an issue. It's nice to have them on hand anyway. I didn't have any of those sizes, so I think that's what I'm going to do for now. A little bit of trick, you can get this on here, but this is how I did mine. So I stuffed that in there, and I basically took this screwdriver, if you can see that, and I kind of wedged it up in there, got it over here, and then just kind of like did that number, and it kind of went on. It's not real hard to get on, but it's not incredibly easy either. So, all right, now. All right, we can finish the rest of this now. So let's go ahead and get the pin in place. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. I put this little collar piece, or whatever this is here, with the hole in it. I put it in first, and then kind of just lining it up there. I'm not going to leave the pin here, so we're going to take the pin back out. Then we're going to put this guy in, just like so. Or wait a minute, before we do that, got to put our little retainer piece on. So then we can line up everything. Okay, just kind of push it on there. All right, so see how it's flush, kind of, and then this side is not, so I'm going to kind of take it through just a little more. Okay, that's pretty good. I've not really found a great way to do this. So basically I just struggle to put it on. It eventually will go, but it's not exactly the easiest damn thing in the world, in my opinion. I would much rather see a different type of system to kind of do these, because eventually somebody's going to jab themselves in the arm or something, like I've almost done twice. So what I've done there is I just kind of snap that one on there, and then I'll just work it around. I'll find a little groove right there where I can stick something in and just kind of like stuff it around a little at a time. If that screwdriver isn't working, get one that does. There you go, and eventually you'll have it to where it'll pop right in place. So we got to get this side off over here because it's got to go back on the differential. Okay, so I don't really have a good way to angle it here, so I'm just going to use my little mount. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to throw this guy in. Okay, that's not the greatest view. I think you can see everything well enough. Alright, so this is what I consider to be one of the hardest parts. Got to kind of get the rear end lined up. That part's not too hard. And before we go really far, all we have to do now is line up the pin. So we'll go ahead and throw the pin in there, like so. Then we got to work that that piece on there, which is really hard usually. Let's get the little thing down there. Get this one lined up, if we can. Okay, well, I guess that works pretty good. Just kind of figured that it was rubber and maybe it would move pretty well. So let me show you what I did to the backside. So the reason I couldn't film it at the same time was I had to cinch up that bolt, and those four back there. I can't really hold it up at the same time, and I don't have a really good setup for holding this. I've got somewhat of a stand over there that kind of works, but it wouldn't work for that anyway. I mean, you got to kind of turn on the angle and all that jazz. So we have the nice new shaft, nice and straight. So that's installed. Like I was telling you here, I went over all these bearings and they all seem fine. So they look fairly new. So I don't know if they've been replaced or they're just, you know, holding well. I don't know. But regardless, I'm going to kind of dig into that a little bit more here later, and just make sure that everything is set to go. I do see another issue. I don't know if you can see that way over here in the corner. Right there, you can see a pin. That's a pin for this bone coming out, CV or whatever. So I'm gonna have to dig into that. So let's look at that before we move on, so we can kind of get that part straightened out. Okay, so I got these taken loose here. So let's see what we can see here with Homeboy. One side out. Okay. Let's get the other one out. Alright, there we go. Okay, so that little piece just turned out to be loose from where it came out here. We'll install the tires, obviously, and the fuel tank. And then we'll look at the carburetor as well. I think it has a Walbro, but if not, we're going to be putting one in. And I may put this 990 in here as well. I don't know what's sitting in here now, depending on what kind of, if it has a Walbro, which one it has. I may just stick the 990 in there. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I do want to have a 990 for my Red Cat. So as long as I have one for that, I'm pretty happy. So we'll just kind of play around with it, you know, and kind of see. So we're just going to be going to town, guys. So we'll be ready to rock and roll, hopefully, when the spring gets here, because that's usually when my hours start picking up. So if we're ready to rock and roll, I can basically just grab and go and just, you know, have a blast. So that's the plan anyway. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the channel. I appreciate it, guys.